The NBA has seen some amazing players over the years, but it's not that often that a player comes around and absolutely dominates their position. From point guard to center, there are very few players that come to mind when it comes to this. So we decided to make a list of GOATs for all 5 positions in basketball. But before we reveal our list, subscribe and leave a like. Point guard. With the likes of Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, and many more who have dominated the point guard position in the past, there is one player that simply stands out above the rest, and that's legendary Earvin Magic Johnson. At 6'9", Magic wasn't built like a point guard and could play every position on the court, including center, which he played during the 1980 NBA Finals after an injury to Kareem Abdul Jabbar. Magic dominated that game, dropping 42 points, but his play at the point guard position is what made him one of the best players of all time. With his size, dribbling ability, and passing, Magic was able to revolutionize the point guard position, winning 5 NBA titles and 3 MVPs in the process. Apart from his skill, what truly set Magic apart from the rest is his sheer joy and flashiness that he brought to the game. During his time, the Lakers became known as Showtime, largely thanks to his up-tempo style of play. There's no doubt in our mind who the GOAT at point guard is, but there are still a few other guys worth mentioning. One player who could potentially take the throne in the future is Stephen Curry. Winning 3 titles and 2 league MVPs, Curry has built an impressive resume and is still far from done. With his otherworldly-like shooting ability, Curry brings a whole new element to the game and forces the opposing teams to spend a lot of energy guarding him, which makes it a lot easier for his teammates. A player from the past who could also be in the conversation is John Stockton. Despite looking like a high school teacher, the 6'1" Stockton was a fierce competitor and one of the best playmakers the league has ever seen, holding the record for the most assists. That, along with his amazing defense and respectable shooting ability, made him one of the GOATs at the point guard position. Shooting guard. Widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan is without a doubt our pick for the shooting guard position. From the moment he stepped on the NBA floor, it was clear that the Bulls hit the jackpot when they selected him with the number 3 pick. In his rookie season, he averaged 28 points per game, and after a scary injury in his second season, which forced him out for the rest of the year, it was all gravy for MJ. He won 6 titles and brought some of the most memorable moments in NBA history, including the shot against the Jazz in Game 6 of the Finals. With his turnaround jumpers, impressive athletic ability, dribbling skills, and shooting, Jordan was impossible to guard and brought fear to any defender he faced. What really set Jordan apart, though, is his winning mentality, which is very well documented in the now famous docuseries The Last Dance. One player who came remarkably close to Mike is someone who always wanted to be like Mike, and that is the late, great Kobe Bryant. Kobe was one of the hardest working in the game and made himself into one of the greatest scorers of all time. He led the Lakers to 5 NBA titles and solidified his place as one of the GOATs of the game. With his killer first step and cheetah-like quickness, Dwayne Wade, aka Flash, makes our list too. After a Jordan-esque performance in the 2006 Finals, D-Wade won 2 more finals, teaming up with LeBron James to form one of the best teams we've ever seen. Small forward. Coming closer and closer to Jordan with each passing season, the kid from Akron, well, he just can't stop winning. After a disappointing performance in the 2011 Finals, LeBron James has made the Finals in 9 of the next 10 seasons, winning 4 NBA titles in the process. His best years came with the Miami Heat, where we saw some of the greatest individual performances of all time. His most impressive accomplishment, however, was in 2016 when he won the title with the Cleveland Cavaliers, fulfilling his promise he made to Cav fans when he was drafted. At 35 years of age, the King is still going strong, and he was able to lead the Lakers to a championship, winning the Finals MVP, and it doesn't look like he'll stop anytime soon. Built like a bulldozer, skilled like magic, LeBron is impossible to deal with and can dominate the game in every way possible. He can post you up, step back from 3, or dish it out to an open teammate, and all you can do is hope that he misses. Our honorable mention goes to Larry Bird. Larry was LeBron before LeBron and was just as dominating in the 1980s. 90s. His jump shot was impossible to defend, and his list of tricks is more impressive than his stash, as he was able to score over any opponent that came in his way. He won 3 titles, having a very memorable rivalry with Magic and the Lakers. Larry's spot is not safe yet, as Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard are still in their prime, and by winning a few more titles can have something to say. Their scoring and defense make them a very huge asset to their teams, who instantly become title contenders when adding one of those two to their ranks. Power forward. With so many options, it can be difficult to select the best power forward, but Tim Duncan is always in that conversation. The big fundamental has 5 rings on his resume and was as skilled as they come. He didn't waste a single step he took, as everything he did was methodical and executed with great precision. On the defensive end, his long arms and impressive speed made him a nightmare for opposing guards, who often had to settle for long-range shots when Timmy was in the paint. Kevin Garnett, aka the Big Ticket, was not as successful as Tim, but was one of the most exciting players to watch, hence the nickname. In his Minnesota days, Garnett was an athletic freak and defensive machine. Who knows what would have happened if he had had a respectable team around him. In his later years, he developed a respectable jump shot and was deadly from mid-range. The highlight of his career came in 2008, when he cemented his legacy by winning a title with Boston.
Karl Malone was known as the mailman, as he always delivered. During his illustrious career, 3 things are certain in life: death, taxes, and Karl Malone giving you 20 and 10 each night. Malone was unstoppable in the post, and you could write a textbook on the pick and roll starring him and John Stockton. Famous for his legendary fadeaway, Dirk Nowitzki was guaranteed to score when he had his back to the basket. The man is over 7 feet tall and could shoot out of the gym. Good luck stopping that. The German got his title in a heroic performance against LeBron in 2011 and has earned his spot in the conversation for the best power forward of all time. Center. While losing importance in recent times, the three-point shots and the fast-paced play becoming the norm, the center position was once the most important in basketball and has brought some of the best players ever. One of those players is Kareem Abdul Jabbar. Famous for his skyhook, Kareem was one of the most dominant players in the 1970s and won multiple championships with Magic in the 1980s. Kareem had everything: height, strength, skill, thinning hair, you name it. He was unstoppable around the basket and was able to score at will, and is even the NBA's top scorer of all time. On the defensive end, he was able to block almost every shot that came his way, thanks to his long arms and instincts. What's most impressive is that he was able to dominate for a long period of time. From his days in the NCAA to his final seasons in the NBA, Kareem is one of the best players on the court. One player that can give Kareem a run for his money is prime Shaquille O'Neal. At over 300 pounds of pure muscle, Shaq was literally unstoppable in the paint, and not even 2 defenders could contain him, as he was able to bounce them off his body on his way for a huge slam. O'Neal was also surprisingly quick for his size. Having to keep up with him in the post exhausted his opponents, who didn't have much of a chance containing him in the first place. With the Big Diesel leading the way, the Lakers were able to three-peat for the second time in their history, adding him to an impressive list of Laker greats. Our honorable mentions are iconic Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, who battled it out in the 1950s and 60s and paved the way for all the players mentioned in this video. So who do you have on your GOAT list? Let us know by leaving a comment, and also subscribe and give us a thumbs up.